What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. So, you know what? I think I actually look better with my little pink scarf on my head. So let me put that back on. Let me tighten it a little bit. Voila. So, I know it has been a while since I've uploaded a video that is true to my Enchanted Ways content. And I'm going to mention some magic in this video, but really it's just going to be letting you know what's been going on and why I went ahead and uploaded the videos, the last two videos that I did. One, I told you that I mightn't, so I went ahead and did it. And thank you so much for watching those. I appreciate it. I'm definitely very pleased. My shorts do very well, the cooking ones anyway, because that tea video that I did like last year or so did really well in a short amount of time. And this last video about my portable pot pies did well as well. But anyway, I uploaded those because I've been in the midst of moving. You can tell, different surroundings. And so I've just been dealing with that. Short notice, extremely short notice, but I am extremely proud of myself for taking it in stride, especially as an earth sign. Because, you know, we don't like change, period. And we definitely don't like sudden changes. And this was extremely sudden. Like, I've been wanting to move out of that house for the longest because it had so many issues. But, you know, it was a hookup house. How like the video, if you know about hookup houses, you know, family letting you stay there. The rent is unspeakably cheap. Okay, you're not gonna find rent like this anywhere else. You know, it's a roof. You know what I'm saying? But we had so many issues in that house, from mosquitoes. I mean, ridiculous amounts of mosquitoes. Y'all know how I told y'all I almost scratched my damn mole off the back of my leg because the mosquitoes tore me up so bad. But mosquitoes, renovations that were going to be made to the house never got made. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but at one point, lightning struck. I think I did. Yes, I did tell y'all about how I was feeling it that day. There was a storm, and I'm like, oh, let me figure out what's, you know, scary little black and white movie I want to watch, instead of doing what my intuition told me to do. And that's unplug all of this shit like the old folks used to do. And lightning struck the house, and it screwed up the wiring. So as we speak right now, some of the wiring is just not right in the house as far as like the overhead light fixture. So we were using floor lamps and stuff. And then we didn't have any central heat anymore, but we ended up getting that fixed. But it took almost a year because like it was a major electrical issue and folks didn't want to get involved. But we had a hookup on that too. But yeah, so I've been wanting to get out of that house since I moved into the damn house back in 2018. But you know, you want what you want, and I wanted things to be planned out more. Let's find a place. Let me take my time and pack. Yada, yada, yada. I like to do my research. What school district is this going to be in? I'm the type, I want to know what's going on. And that's that Virgo daggone. What am I? A Virgo? I think I'm a Virgo rising. But that's that Virgo. And plus, I mean, I guess just earth signs, period, are just about their business. Not to say that other signs aren't. but we work a certain way. And I like to visit a school before I enroll my children into them. I want to know what the hell is what the hell is going on, and none of that was able to take. None of that took place. It was literally 1 week. My husband is like, cause you know how anybody does. Y'all know how y'all be doing. I say y'all because I'm self-employed. But y'all know how y'all do when folks get on your nerve. You start getting on Indeed and seeing what's going on, what's going on. And he does that. He's an Aries, so he's good for, I don't have to take this. I don't have to be here. I'm going somewhere else. And so I know he goes on because he tells me when he goes on Indeed and things, but you just never know when somebody's going to get back with you. And so he had applied for an instructing job in Virginia, where we moved from. And he had the interview. It went well, but they took their dear sweet time getting back with him. And so in the meantime, a job here in Carolina reached out to him and was like, can you come here on a Friday and interview? So it went from, okay, this week I've been informed we're going to go to North Carolina so I can do this interview, to not only did I get the job, but they offered me full time, and they want me to start this Monday, the Monday right after the Friday of the interview. Of course, he told him, no, that's too soon. We have to move. But then we ended up moving the next week. So, I mean, super, super fast. I packed the whole house in a week. Something I have never done before. And, yeah. So I've been taking things in stride, but that was a lot. And then it took me a while to get all of my kids registered, because I have 4. And my stepdaughter, she's with us as well. So 5. And yeah. So luckily I was able to get my 2 middle children into their school quick, the same week, which shocked me. I mean, I was able to enroll everybody online. So I'm like, okay, when you do things online, they typically move fast and everything. But I also knew that I would have to go in person, to give them the physical documents that they wanted. And when I went up there, for the middle school, they were like, oh, they can start tomorrow. I'm like, tomorrow? Like, yeah, is that an issue? I was like, no, that's not an issue, because that's when I expected them to start. But at the same time, I wasn't expecting the school to move that fast. So, like, we had gotten clothes shopping done while we were down here during the interview, but we didn't have any school supplies. It's like, okay, well, we're going to be moving. Why even bother getting any school? We be procrastinating and stuff any damn way. Part of it is procrastination. Part of it is the finances be dictating and priorities. And we can get you something to get you started, and we'll get the other stuff later. Y'all know how these school supply lists, they want you to supply the school and not your child. I got 4. All of that ain't finna go down. I'll do what I can to donate to your classroom. But no. Anywho, got them in. Did the school shopping that night. that night, and got everything they needed. Got them in. And then I was able to get my high schoolers straight. And that was actually one of the silver linings in the situation, because I was stressed, as they say. this high school has a much, much better program. So I mean, I'm very happy that my son, who's a senior, a 16-year-old senior, by the way, toot, um, has some excellent programs that he can do. Like, one of his classes is learning Python programming, and he wants to be in graphic design, so he has game design and graphic design and all classes like that he wouldn't have been, they don't offer them where we just came from, period. He was able to get CCAP certified, like cybersecurity. That was the dryer. He was able to get cybersecurity certified, so I'm where we just came from, so that's nice. But we've never been in a magnet school. They've never been in a magnet school before. So this is, it's different, and it's focused on engineering and different things. And so, yeah, I was definitely pleased about that. And then they were able to start the following Monday, and I was also able to get my youngest in school, because that was taking a bit, because it was different for the elementary schools. Like, you can't even withdraw. I couldn't even withdraw him without enrolling him in the new school first, and so it just took a little bit longer for the paperwork. But everybody got in. But then, what had been stressing me out even more is that I have a son in the child. This drive plucks my nerve. So I have a child that's gifted. Strangely enough, my senior, he was never in the gifted program, but obviously he's gifted. But my middle son has been in the gifted program for years, loves math, all of that good stuff. And so in 6th grade, he took pre-algebra. Both of my middle sons, but he's a year older. They were both in pre-algebra last year. So, in Virginia, they would have gone to algebra, but here it's different. And so, I'm talking to the guidance counselor, like, okay, why is he in 7th grade math instead of 9th grade math per his transcript? And so, I didn't quite understand that things didn't translate exactly from state to state. I had a feeling, but it's like, it's math. Algebra comes after pre-algebra. What? They were both in the same class. In Virginia, why can't they be both in the same class here? Because I was having that issue with my next to oldest. Woo. And I finally got him in the correct math. So I'm like, okay, well, why can't they both be? And so I finally talked to the assistant principal today. She broke it down for me more clearly than the guidance counselor did. Although, he definitely helped. He was like, he ended up putting him in the advanced 7th grade class. But then I'm like, okay, but I didn't just talk to you. My son comes home, he hot. Like, I was already in 7th grade math, and all they did was put me in advanced 7th grade math. Why am I in the same math class as my brother? Inquiring minds want to know. I would like to know the same damn thing. So, Thursday and Friday, I'm trying to get in touch with somebody. About to go up to the damn school board. But I'm searching for education attorneys. Y'all not gonna mess with my babies. Okay. There'll be no children left behind in this house. So, yeah, the assistant principal finally got back with me. She broke it down. It was like, it doesn't completely translate over. And so I understand, your son, he's gifted, and I'm sure, he frustrated. Like, I know all of this stuff already, but it's just the first unit or whatever that is going to be a repeat of pre-algebra, and then they'll get into, 8th grade math. So, but still, is going to be, well, if he's, accelerating through that, let's go ahead and get him tested and get him where I want him to be any daggone way. So yeah. So that's my update, child. I was in that kitchen. Okay, so 15:25, that's before I've added any of my editing and all of that stuff. So whatever the timestamp will be when the magic starts, somebody can put it in the comments. If you please. Cause I know I got a bunch of lurkers on my channel. Y'all lurk like I lurk on other people's channels. Very rarely do I comment on people's channels, but I like, and I'll have that notification bell on. And I'll watch your videos. But I rarely comment, so I can't complain too tough. But yeah, I was up in that kitchen calling the ancestors down. And so I came up with a nice little recipe, intuitive. Somebody had asked me like a month or two ago about I think it was blockbusters or some type of spells, like, what are some spells that I recommend. And I'm gonna tell y'all, like I told her, make your own stuff. Even the spells that and what I'm about to share with you and the spells up here, tweak them, make them your own. Follow your intuition, because that's what's going to make your magic more potent. Not being cookie cutter, okay? Like, even when it comes to just cooking in general, like just cooking regular food, very rarely do you, well, for me anyway, it's been my experience doing recipes and stuff out of cookbooks and things, that very rarely can you follow a recipe how it is in the book and it comes out tasting good. You have to tweak it, not only for your own taste, but it just, when you cook, you cook. You don't be measuring. It's not baking. Baking is more exact, and I ain't no baker. So hats off to y'all that can, because I still can't figure out how to get yeast activated. But once I do, I'm going to gain 50 pounds, because it's going to be yeast rolls and honey butter all over the place, and I ain't sharing that pan with nobody. But I digress. I don't need to figure out how to activate no yeast. So, but yeah, I recommend you follow your intuition when it comes to creating your spells. Because when you're on this path, you have been called to this path for a reason. This isn't your first time at the rodeo, even if it feels like it, okay? You were called to this because you've been this in another lifetime. And if you haven't, one of your ancestors have. And who's to say that you ain't that ancestor just reincarnated? So yeah, follow your intuition. I mean, there's just this so much locked in your bones and your blood and your DNA. So much knowledge. Not to mention herbs and curios. They are speaking to you. Of course, they're not talking and actually running their mouths, but when part of your intuition is, yes, something is coming up from within, and sometimes it's just the ingredient that is telepathically communicating with you and telling you what it can do for you in this situation. So what I ended up doing, excuse me, I got a little bit of a cold. I shampooed my hair. I'm hoping that's all. It seems like, okay, cause and effect. I shampooed my hair. And I didn't have the ceiling fan on. I made sure to cut it off, but it's still central air. And so, temperatures, the weather has been changing. So I think that's what's got me under the weather. But hey, I have been stressed as well. So, your defenses go down when you're stressed. But I've been making my teas and things. So my sinuses are a little congested. But anywho, I during the new moon in Virgo, I did a ritual where I basically made candied bay leaves for a sweet victory. A sweet victory spell, basically. So, what I did, I wrote a petition, first of all, and burned that under the new moon outside during the bewitching hour. During the bewitching hour, basically. Um, and then in the kitchen, I just didn't feel like I was done. So I'm like, let me get up in this spice cabinet and see what's up in here. And I pulled out my bay leaves, and I was called to pull out 3. I wrote victory on 1 so I could put it in my shoe. So, I go tiptoeing down. If I had to go tiptoeing, which I ended up not having to. But should I have had to go tiptoeing down to the school board or the school, I'd have, victory underfoot. Okay? And so I took the other 2 leaves and I put just enough water in the pot so that, it could be a nice infusion. I didn't drink the water or anything. I thought that's what I was going to end up doing, but no, that's not what called to me. I just was simmering the bay leaves and putting my intention into the leaves as the water boiled. And then intuition again spoke to me, and I poured sugar in there, and was speaking my intentions over the bay leaves. And so as the water, and I can't tell you how much sugar, it was intuitive, as the water boiled out, basically it caramelized into a bit of a syrup. There really wasn't much left in the pot at all, but it turned the bay leaves, it candy coated the bay leaves basically. And so I let them cool for a little bit, and then I chewed the bay leaves while speaking my intentions. So, for those of you that are familiar with making candy and things, that was my first time doing anything like that. I don't know how long something like that would keep. Whether you can make a bunch of candied bay leaves in advance and store them somewhere, maybe, maybe not. If you are familiar with things like that, please let us know how we could store them. But it was dried bay leaves, and I simmered them. Like I said, I added just enough water in the pot so they wouldn't be boiling forever. It was just enough water to cover the bottom of the pot, and I just let it boil. And then as it got to boiling and the water was starting to boil out of the pot, that's when I started adding the sugar, and it was candy, and actually it tasted pretty good. So that's something I would recommend if you have to speak before a crowd, if if you have to speak and you're trying to persuade somebody, if you're trying to, sell somebody on something, if you're trying to get favor, if you have to go into court, anything where you would need a sweet victory, you're not trying to be coercive, just persuasive, if you're not trying to be mean about it and it's my way or the highway, but it's just, okay, I want this and now you're going to want what I want too. Basically, that's the vibe, a sweet victory, because you can get victories over people and they're not happy about it. So I wasn't trying to ruffle any feathers. I just want what's best for my children. So I would definitely recommend that as a nice little simple 2-ingredient well, 3 if you count the water. Simple victory spell. So yeah, and if you wanted to add your different herbs again, follow your intuition. But that's what came through for me, and that's what I did. Ooh, my hand. So yeah, I think I made this video long enough. I didn't intend on it being this long to begin with, but I just wanted to let y'all know what's going on, where I've been, excuse me, and share a little spell with you. I've been connecting with my ancestors more. I just started yesterday. And it's not that I don't talk to my ancestors. It's just I'm stubborn. They know I'm stubborn. And I've been, been told in readings over the past probably year or two that, okay, they want your spirit team and your ancestors want to connect to you more. But I'm stubborn and I'm a lone wolf, even when it comes to working with spirits, because as I get frustrated, it's like I'm down here in the trenches. Where are y'all? I want miracles, damn it. I want cabinet doors to fly open. I want some supernatural shit to pop off. And since it's not, well, to hell with you. But that's not the way to be. But at the same time, they my ancestors. So I ain't getting the shit from nowhere. I got it honest. They know why I'm this way. Because somebody was that way. A whole bunch of somebodies was that way too. You don't just get all this fire. You just get all this fire in your belly from nowhere. Matter of fact, I was talking to my great aunt the other day about the situation. And, I'm fired up over these kids. Like, damn it. I want them in the right class. You like, all right, Margaret. That was my great grandmama. Because she was like, you sound just like her. She didn't play about us kids. And she would have done the same exact thing. So, baby, I come from a long line of strong women that are not about the bullshit at all. Okay? And my great-grandmama, the same one, used to tell her husband, I don't have to have you, James. Okay, straight. You don't have to be here. You understand? And she would say, too, that was one saying. And her other saying was, and you always had to demonstrate. I can't remember what I've told this story before. But if I can take down a hawk, and she mimicked that rifle, and I can take down a man. She didn't play. Okay? And so that's the stock I come from. That's the cloth I'm cut from. And so I'm just glad. But I'm trying to be, as being married to old diplomat. I tell you, folks, he says people say that he's an Aries. But the only Ariesness I see in him is this impulsiveness as far as when it comes to a job. He will move the hell on. Okay? And is very ambitious. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that he doesn't have a temper, but it's like, you're not going to give me too much. You might have a temper with other folks. But I got that fire too. Okay? Like, I don't completely identify with, what is it? Let's just say the Western zodiac. But in the Western zodiac, I believe that's the tropical. I am a Sagittarius moon. So it's like, okay, well, that makes sense. I definitely got some fire. But I identify more with the Scorpion moon, which is what I am in sidereal astrology. Dark, vindictive, evil. But Capricorns are that way too. So it's like, okay, is that the Capricorn? The Capricorn or Scorpio. It's a dangerous combination, child. The way my chart's set up. Okay, but yeah, so that's the Aries I see. And he is older. He ain't got all them gray hairs up in his chin for nothing. So, you know, he's definitely more level-headed and diplomatic than I am. Not to say he can't be impulsive, because he can. But when it comes to things like that, with something, you know, it's like, okay, an injustice, he does handle it better. And so being married to him all these years, I have learned to pipe down, to let things play out. Let me not go all the way to just drive smooth off the cliff. And so I did that in this situation, and it definitely paid off. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just a simple misunderstanding. Again, just it's a new experience. I've never moved out of state, and I didn't understand what the hell is what the hell is going on. So yeah, yeah. So that's what's been going on with me. And now I need to blow my nose. And now I'm getting hungry again. Child talking y'all and worked me up. And recapping the situation has worked me up. I eat my final slice of cheese pizza. Drink some water. Make me another cup of tea. So I can pee all over the place. But it is helping. So I'm definitely going to keep drinking it. But yeah. I hope y'all enjoy these types of videos. You know, just talking and letting you know what's going on and sharing a bit of magic. Because, I mean, we're settled for the most part. I haven't completely unpacked. But it's still more work to be done, child. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying not to overwhelm myself by doing too much. You know, but I did want to check in with y'all, say hey, and again, share a bit of magic with y'all. So I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and goodbye.